Now, it's a root that grows our economic problems, our unsustainable debt, and our high unemployment numbers, and a housing market that's in the tank, and a stagnant economy. These are all symptoms, and politicians are so focused on the symptoms and not the disease. We will not solve our economic problems until we confront the cronyism of our president and our permanent political class. So this is why we must remember that the challenge is not simply to replace Obama in 2012, but the real challenge is who and what we will replace him with, because it's not enough. If we don't change the team and the game plan, we won't save our country. Yes, we need sudden and relentless reform, and that will return power to we the people. This, of course, requires deeds, not just words. It's not good enough for the politicians to just be throwing our way some kind of vague generalities, talking about some promises here and there. It's time that we hold them accountable. It is amazing to me that even some good conservatives, they run away from being honest and straight up with us about what needs to be done. They don't want to rock the boat. They, can't hurt future election prospects, evidently. They just talk vaguely about cuts and then they move on. Too busy saying what they think that we want to hear, and instead they should be telling us what needs to be said, what needs to be done. So let us today in this field, let us have that adult conversation about what needs to be done to restore America. Let's do that now. In 5 days' time, our president will gift us with yet another speech. In his next speech, he'll reveal his latest new super-duper jobs plan. It will have more lofty goals and flowery rhetoric, more illogical economic fantasies, and more continued blame and finger-pointing. But listen closely to what he says. All of his solutions, they're going to revolve around more of the same, more payoffs for his friends and supporters. His plan is the same as it's always been, and that's grow more government, increase more debt, take and give more of your hard-earned money to special interests. And this is such a problem, but you know what the problems are. We could go on all day about the problems caused by the status quo in Washington. Status quo, I think it's Latin for more of the same of the mess that we're in. That status quo won't work anymore. We could go on all day about the problems, but you know them because you live them every day. So let's talk about real solutions. I want to tell you what my plan is. Bona fide pro-working man's plan, and it deals in reality. It deals in the way that the world really works. Because we must talk about what really works in order to get America back to work. My plan is about empowerment. Empowerment of our states, empowerment of our entrepreneurs, most importantly, empowerment of you, our hardworking individuals. Because I have faith, I have trust, I have respect for you. The way forward is no more politics as usual. We must stop expanding an out of control and out of touch federal government. This is first. All power, not specifically delegated to the federal government by our Constitution, is reserved for the states and for we the people. So let's enforce the 10th Amendment. Devolve powers back locally where the founders intended them to be. Second, what happened to all those promises about staying committed to repealing the mother of all big government unfunded mandates? We must repeal Obamacare. And rein in burdensome regulations that are a boot on our neck. Get government out of the way and let the private sector breathe and grow. This will allow the confidence that businesses need in order to expand and hire more people. And third, no more runaway debt. We must prioritize and cut. Cancel unused stimulus funds and have that come to Jesus moment where we own up to the debt challenge that is entitlement reform. We will have entitlement reform. It's just a matter of how we're going to get there. We either do it ourselves or the world capital markets, they're going to shove it down our throats and we'll have no choice but to reform our entitlement programs. The status quo is no longer an option. Entitlement reform is our duty now, and it must be done in a way that honors our commitment to our esteemed elders today while keeping faith with future generations. I tell you what, I don't think anything has irked me more than this nonsense coming from the White House about maybe not sending our seniors their checks. It's their money. They have paid into Social Security all of their working lives. And for the president to say, we may not be able to cut their checks, well, where did all their money go, politicians? It's like the commander-in-chief being willing to throw our military under the bus, threatening that their paychecks may not arrive. But the politicians will still get their checks and their secure retirements, and he'll still get his posh vacations. Aren't you just sick to death of those skewed priorities? It's all backwards. Our seniors and our brave men and women in uniform being used as pawns, I say it's shameful, and enough is enough. No more. Fourth, it is time for America to become the energy superpower. The real stimulus that we've been waiting for is robust and responsible domestic energy production. Resources. Affordable, secure energy is the key to any thriving economy, and it must be our foundation. So I would do the opposite of Obama's manipulation of U.S. supplies of energy. Drill here, drill now, let the refineries and the pipelines be built. And dictators asking them to ramp up production and industry for us, promising them that, we'll be their greatest customer. No, not when we have the resources here. We need to move on tapping our own God-given natural resources that are part of our reserves. This will bring real job growth, not the politicians' phony green jobs, fairy dust sprinkled with wishes and glitter, and no, but a hardcore, all of the above energy policy that builds this indestructible link between made in America energy and our prosperity and our security.